Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Market Report for Wednesday the 28th of April 2021, where in just a few minutes I'll tell you everything you need to know about what's happened in financial markets and the world of economics today. I'm Michael Thompson, in the studio this afternoon for Sean Aylmer. The ASX 200 closed up 0.4% today to 7,064.7 points. In fact, the materials sector was the only one to record a drop, pulled down by some pretty big losses for some of the miners. More on that in a second. The best performer on the ASX 200 today was Downer EDI. The engineering, construction and infrastructure management company announced it was conducting an on-market buyback of around 10% of its outstanding shares after recently selling mining and laundry assets for more than $600 million. The group's share price closed up 7.3%. The other big gain today came from Kogan.com. The online retailer had a pretty ordinary week last week, dropping after the company announced a slowdown in revenue growth. But after being questioned by the ASX about the announcement, Kogan supplied sales and earnings data to the market, and its share price closed up 7.1% today, its best one-day gain since December. I mentioned the miners. The biggest decline on the ASX 200 today was from Ramelius Resources, down 9.1%. 4 of the 5 biggest drops today came from the sector. St Barbara, Perseus Mining and Gold Road Resources all slumped between 5 and 8%. But the best story today for my money was in retail. Richard Murray, who turned retailer JB Hi-Fi into an extraordinary success story, has announced he's leaving the business after 18 years. Mr. Murray is joining Solomon Lew's Premier Investments, replacing outgoing Chief Executive Mark McInnes, who announced that he was leaving back in January. The move is being described as a coup for Premier Investments, which owns Just Jeans, Peter Alexander, Dotti, Smiggle and more. Mr. Murray has been with JB Hi-Fi for almost 2 decades and CEO since 2014, and helped guide the company through its public listing, the acquisition of The Good Guys and record sales for the group. He'll be replaced at JB by the current managing director of The Good Guys, Terry Smart, who was actually Richard Murray's predecessor as JB Hi-Fi's group CEO before leaving the business, then returning to The Good Guys. JB Hi-Fi closed down 4%, while Premier Investments, of which Solomon Lew owns 42%, closed up more than 2%. In economic news, March inflation data came out today and the consumer price index for March rose by 0.6%, significantly less than expected. Economists had been predicting a rise of 0.9%. The surprise result is being attributed in part to the impact of some of the government's stimulus measures, for example the Home Builder scheme offsetting increases in the cost of materials and labour, and the Job Ready Graduates package contributing to a fall in tertiary education fees. What does it mean long term? It means less pressure on the Reserve Bank to increase interest rates anytime soon. They've already declared rates won't rise until 2024 at the earliest, and data like this today helps shore up their position. And Australia's trade surplus has hit $8.4 billion, helped along by booming commodity prices and huge demand from China. Metalliferous ores, which is a very fancy way of saying rocks with metal in them, reached a record high in March of $16.4 billion, with exports to China surging by 17%. Iron ore exports were up 21% and copper was up 62%. A quick recap of Wall Street. The S&P 500 and Dow Jones both closed flat this morning, while the Nasdaq was down 0.3%, just slightly off its record high from yesterday. Alphabet, which owns Google, announced its results after the market closed, declaring US $55.3 billion in revenue for the quarter, up 34% year on year and well above market expectations. The Aussie dollar is trading at around 77.5 US cents, and that's it for the afternoon market report for Wednesday the 28th of April 2021. Sean Aylmer will be back tomorrow morning for the regular edition of the Fear and Greed Business Headlines. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.